Today's video is dedicated to the ladies over the age of 40 because as much as I love the carnivore diet and it has done so much for me to reverse chronic disease and feel my best, when I hit the age of 40, things aren't just the same and just having a perfect diet won't slow down that much of the aging processes, the hormonal changes to our menstrual cycle, the list goes on. But there are things you can do to help the cause, to feel your best, to look younger. Let's talk about it in today's video. Welcome back to my channel. I am Sylvia and I'm a carnivore diet coach. Let's start with my skincare routine because it was a train wreck after my second baby. First of all, I was really tired after the second one. Thirdly, I don't know, I had those secondary and tertiary postpartum effects. They weren't the major ones and they were mild, but they were annoying. And one of the issues I was dealing with was super oily skin over here and really dry over here and over here. And I was changing my creams and going for facials and nothing seemed to work. My skin was just feeling tight and dry. And I started noticing a lot of fine lines that I didn't have even a few months ago. So I started doing a little bit of research and it wasn't anything sophisticated. I thought it is time to give a shot to retinol cream. I got it from Dermatica. I'm not affiliated with them. They were just easy to order from, easy consultation. You will need a prescription for retinol cream. The form of retinol in this lotion is tretinoin, and there are a lot of online pharmacies that you can choose from. Just do whatever works for you. And I started using it about 6-7 months ago, but I'm not using it alone. So I'm first applying retinol cream, and I do it in the evening, and then I'll give it like 20 to 30 minutes or right before I go to bed. I take out my good old tallow. It is the tallow that I'm using for cooking that I just transferred into a glass jar. And after the retinol cream absorbs, then I put my tallow on. And the results are amazing. My skin is hydrated, the skin tone is more even, and some of the discolorization went away and the fine lines went away, and I just feel that my skin is better hydrated, more plump, and it just feels and looks more youthful than it was just even 6 months ago. So this is a really good combination for skincare for the ladies over 40. I would not recommend using retinol cream if you are younger than 40. I would just prepare you, if you're going to give a shot to the retinol cream, that there is a transition period similarly as it is for the carnivore diet, and I seem to be extra sensitive because my transition was lasting really long time. So when you start with the retinol cream, you might have like scaly skin, you might get some redness, there might be some irritation, but that usually resolves within 2 weeks. For me, it lasted about a month and a half. I was almost ready to give up, but then what I started doing is I also added vitamin C cream into my routine. So then at that point, I wasn't using retinol cream every night. I would just break it up every other day and then use the vitamin C cream, and that seems to be the magic solution that allowed my skin to adjust to retinol cream. And now I'm able to use it every night. I use it on my face, on my neck, and on my belly because there is some sagging of my skin on my belly postpartum. And even there, I see the improvement into the texture and quality of my skin. So highly recommend it. Next on my list are the yoni eggs. I really don't know how I'm going to talk about this without getting embarrassed, but I'll give it my best. After the second baby, I've noticed that things down there weren't as snug, toned. Things felt more like loose and relaxed. And I did the full pelvic floor therapy. I've exercised, I did the Kegels. Just didn't seem to make so much of a difference. And finally I started looking for some magical solutions, and I ran into the yoni eggs. And I started with the largest one, which you should if you had a baby, and then it goes inside. You try to keep it there until your muscles get tired. Sometimes it will fall out on its own, especially in the beginning. But as you get better at it, even the weight of this thing, of the egg, tones your muscles. But then you'll start learning to contract the 3 groups of muscles of your yoni, and things will start getting tighter and more toned, and then you'll be able to go to the middle-sized egg, and then eventually you will transition to the smallest egg, and you'll know you've achieved great results if you're able to kind of move it up and move it down with your muscles, even the smallest one. And I'm sure your partners will also notice the difference. You can do it as long as you want to. In the beginning it may be frustrating because your muscles may feel really weak, but they'll quickly adjust. My muscles started responding really quickly. I started noticing first improvements within about 4 weeks. Now there's one other aspect to the yoni eggs, and you can research it, but I was listening to this Dao master that was promoting the yoni eggs, and he was saying that the health of woman's yoni, as tight as it is reflected in the woman's face. So if the vagina is nice, toned and tight, then the aging of the face will be less as well. So the more you care about that area, this area will be also taken care of. So ladies, give it a try, because it is also an anti-aging strategy. Okay, so now that I survived the yoni egg portion of the video, let's talk about something more mundane, and that is this humble supplement DHEA. It is an over-the-counter hormone precursor for both male and female sex hormones. It was recommended to me by my fertility doctor. So when I was 40 and a half, I went to see a fertility doctor because I was planning to get pregnant with my second son, and I just wanted to know if I can do it naturally, if there's enough eggs and hormones to have a healthy pregnancy. And while I was waiting for the blood work results to come back, the doctor told me, why don't you try DHEA? There's no downside to it, but it will rejuvenate your ovaries, you will produce more sex hormones, and you will become more fertile. So I remember that for the postpartum. And few months back, about a couple months back, I started noticing, and maybe yoni eggs had to do something with it, that my cycle started getting extended to 35-36 days. But it seemed like the levels of hormones stayed the same. So now I had all those hormones that normally would be in this cycle for 28 days. Now they have to get stretched out to 36 days. And I started feeling it. Particularly the second half of my cycle, I started noticing PMS. And I normally don't have any PMS symptoms. I only know I get my menstrual cycle when it shows up. I generally don't suffer from PMS, and all of a sudden I started getting 2-week-long PMS, and it felt like my hormones just couldn't work with each other, and it was just not enough of them to have a healthy changes between estrogen and progesterone to cause the menstrual cycle to occur. And I actually had to make it happen with extra vitamin C to bring down the period. So I remember about DHEA. I started supplementing at first with 25 milligrams, but I quickly upped it to 50 milligrams, and within 5 days I started feeling amazing. It's just like the fatigue went away, the low mood went away, and I just had more energy, and I felt more inspired. I wanted to do more things, and most importantly, my cycle normalized back to 28 days with no PMS symptoms. So I highly recommend it if you have any of those famous now perimenopausal symptoms. Maybe it's just not enough of sex hormones that you have, and you can help yourself with this really humble, inexpensive supplement that you can get over the counter. And last but not least, my newest strategy is strength training. And ladies, I don't know where have I been all those years. I was living in the gym, mostly before I had kids. I was in the gym 5 days a week, and I was doing all sorts of exercises, except that I never really got into quality strength training. I didn't like weight training, I was afraid of the machines, and also I wasn't very good at it. My technique was and the form was always very bad. I would easily injure myself, so I would get discouraged easily. I tried to watch the YouTube videos, Instagram videos, I saved those videos, tried to bring them to the gym, tried to replicate it. It just wasn't working. I was really bad at the strength training. So finally I decided I'm just gonna leave it to an expert, and I hired a personal trainer, and things started changing immediately. I am into 8 weeks of strength training with my trainer. I am working out 2 to 3 times a week, and I already started noticing changes. First of all, again, energy level and just the sense of well-being is just through the roof. But the first signs that my muscles are gaining momentum is that I have a lot more upper body strength. I can do push-ups, I'm working on my pull-ups, and when I lift my children, when I lift heavy things, it's just not as strenuous, and I don't feel exhausted. And overall, I just have a lot more energy, and I'm at this point, I'm really looking forward to do strength training. And let me tell you this, I used to hate it with a passion. I would do high-intensity interval training or jumped in an aerobics class 5 days a week, and I would stay away from weight training. Now, I'm looking forward to it. Alright, so this will do it for this week's video. Try every of those strategies. You will not regret it. I don't know which one is the most important one. I would say try all of them and see what happens. You will feel healthier, younger, you will have a better mood, you will have a lot more energy. It is amazing. Of course, for those of you that aren't carnivore, prioritize animal-based nutrition. You don't have to eat meat only, but at the very minimum, make red meat priority in your diet. Get rid of all the vegetable oils. Stop eating processed carbohydrates altogether. If you're gonna eat carbohydrates, make it root vegetables and fruit. Drink mostly water, and you will be golden. If you haven't yet, subscribe, hit that notification bell. There is a link to my coaching site if you want to be coached about the carnivore diet, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.